Hi there, my name is Tuba, and in this section we will be making the transition from tabular to graphical representation of data. For the first lesson, let's have an introduction to charts and graphs. Charts and graphs are basically a visual representation, a depiction of your data in the form of trends or patterns and graphical elements instead of the tabular or the numerical data values that you are used to when it comes to working with tables or conditional formatting. Now, how you access a chart? You go into the Insert tab. In the Excel ribbon, you have a whole section named Charts. In this section, you're able to view the different types of charts that are available. They are the ones that are most popular, the ones that are specialized and recently added to Excel, and the recommended charts. Apart from that, there's another section named Sparklines that we will be covering on in this section as well. Now, moving on to the different types of charts that are available. The first kind of chart that is available here is the column or the bar chart. Clicking on this icon would give us a description of what the chart can do for us, and it would show us the different varieties that are available for this chart type as well. Now, column or a bar chart is the most popular, the most common kind of chart that is available to us, and we will be using a whole lot of it to find our way around different graphs. The second kind of chart that is available is a line or area chart. Now, this chart is also another popular kind of chart and also used to show trends and comparisons. Another chart is the pie chart, also very common and very popular. It is used to show the different proportions of a data. It is used to separate the data into different proportions. So right now we have three popular chart types: the bar or column chart, which is used to show comparisons, the line or area chart, which is used to show trends, and the pie chart, which is used to show proportions. Apart from these, we have specialized charts such as a hierarchy chart or a histogram or a statistic chart and a scatter or bubble chart. Apart from that, we have other specialized and recently added charts: waterfall, funnel, stock, surface, and radar. In addition to that, we have a combo chart, which is basically a combination of different chart types and is used to it's used when there are multiple variables or multi-dimensional data that we want to show a relationship between. Now, this is it about the different chart types. Now we move on to a recommended chart section. See, for this recommended chart section, what we do is, based on the data set that we have right now, what Excel does is recommend a chart that would work better for us, that would be best suited to visualize the data that we have at the moment. So in order for this option to work, what you do is you select the data set that you currently have, you click on the recommended charts option, and voila, Excel goes and recommends different charts to you. Now note that these charts may or may not be correct. There is a possibility that Excel is not correctly reading the data or understanding the data. It is able to identify different markers, but it is not able to find a logical relationship between the variables. So it's just going ahead and recommending different charts, and it is up to you whether to choose a chart from this list or to choose a chart based on your own experience, your own preference, your own practices. The main idea here is to be able to understand which chart to use with what data set, which chart to use under what circumstances, which chart to use for what kind of audience or what kind of goal or what kind of insights. So that practical know-how is also very much important, along with a logical understanding of your data and needs. Anyway, so this tab shows the recommended charts. Now if I move on to the other tab, this is called here the all charts. If I move on to here, it's listing all the different kind of charts that we just discussed within the ribbon, and you can choose which one you want from here as well. So this is also a very much organized, very structured representation of the different kinds of charts and graphs that are available for us to work with. Right now we are not choosing any chart. We're just working on things, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel this out. Now, apart from the different types of charts that we just viewed, that we just discussed, there is another one called the sparklines. These are basically mini charts that they're kind of a mini charts. The special thing about these charts is that they can be put in cell instead of the whole sheet. Like, for example, when we insert a chart, for example, let me just go ahead and select this whole data and insert a chart, which is going to be a mess, by the way. Why it's a mess, we'll discuss that later. But for example, if I selected my data and inserted a chart, this chart would belong to the whole sheet. It's dealing with the whole data set. If I go ahead and undo this and I move on to the sparklines, when it comes to sparklines, it's asking me the data range and the particular location. Right now, that location is this particular cell. So when it comes to sparklines, they are tiny charts that are very show a limited amount of data and work with a limited data range, and they belong to a single cell or a single row of data. That's how they work instead of the actual charts that may have a whole lot of data in it and belong to the whole sheet. We'll discuss more on this in the upcoming lessons as well. So, to recap, basically, when it comes to charts and graphs, they are an alternative method to data visualization. We have multiple features and multiple charts to choose from, each with their own defining purposes. Apart from that, we have sparklines that work with different cells, and we'll get into how to work with those as well. Now, like I said before, that we have using charts and graphs is an alternative to the different to tabular representation. Now, how that works, why that works, which one to choose over the next, we will cover that in the next one. This is it for now.